Hey guys, welcome to Desk Jockey Physio, where we help active desk folks feel and move better. My name is Mitch Starkman. I'm an FCAMP registered physiotherapist and sports medicine clinic owner here in Toronto. Thanks for stopping by. Hey everyone, two quick updates before we jump into today's video. Number one, we have a free giveaway today. If you head over to deskjockeyphysio.com/guide, you can download your 5-step guide of how to set up the perfect laptop home office, which you can do right here, okay? And number two, we are now offering online physiotherapy sessions for you folks out there. To learn more about that, head over to deskjockeyphysio.com/online, and we'll see you there. All right, otherwise, enjoy the video, guys. Thanks for watching. Hey guys, welcome to part 3 of our grinding knee series. So if you haven't gone back and watched part 1 and 2, make sure you go ahead and do that. Part 1 is one of the first videos we ever did actually, and it talks all about how this condition works and then also some strategies to manage it. Part 2 talks about the actual anatomy of it, what's going on, what's causing it, and today part 3, I want to talk about how to manage this condition. If you do need help past these kind of 1, 2, and 3 parts, we do offer some online programs we created because we had so many questions. And these programs vary from sort of do-it-yourself, really inexpensive option to being able to ask us questions, and of course, kind of an online consult with us as well. So if you need help with that, video descriptions below for the link for that. But otherwise, stay tuned. I hope this helps and helps you understand how to manage and work that grinding knee a little bit better. All right, it's time to talk about how to manage your grinding knee. Now, if your knee snaps, we have a whole video on a series on how to snap and manage a snapping knee and what to do for it. You can go check that out on our other videos. But if we're talking about grinding, this one's for you. So in part 1 and 2, we went over kind of what we talked about already. But if you want to know kind of how to modify this for your training, that's what we're talking about today. So when I go ahead and do a squat or a lunge, which are the most common times I hear people say they have this grinding issue, if my knees load forward, so if I come down and do this, which a lot of folks do, this loads my quads. We call this a quad dominant strategy. It also adds load to my knee. So in part 2, we talked about how the patella, the kneecap, compresses against the bone below and causes this grinding. Now, if we want to fix or manage this, we want to create as much of an optimal solution where the kneecap's not compressing down below. We do that in 2 ways. One is we offload the quadriceps and we add more load to the hips. And number 2 is we work on kind of changing the angle to mechanically load the knees less and load the hips more. So muscular and joint kind of changes their efficiencies and load, which is actually a much more effective way to do a squat or a lunge because those muscles are much more geared to do that work. By the way, if you haven't already, please go down and smash that like button. That helps us raise the YouTube subscriptions, of course. Okay, so if we are talking about a squat as an example, so if I come down and I'm a squat like this, I squat this way, you can see where my knees are translating here, and my knee is kind of traveling over my toe, and that's going to create a lot, even I feel that in my knee right now. I'm not loading my hips, I'm loading my quads. That does 2 things. One is it compresses my quadriceps down on my kneecap, which pushes it into the bone below. And number 2, my weight coming forward centers more of my weight over my knee joint as opposed to my hip. My weight coming forward pushes my weight on my knees as opposed to my hips. So the modification for doing your squats, your lunges, any of these things is to get used to a pattern where we are now shifting our weight back to our hips. So to do that, I can simply go to a wall or a chair and drive my butt back, load up. Drive my butt back and load up. And in this movement, I am now loading my knees less and my hips more, and the grind should decrease or be less intense, also much less pain almost immediately. So I'm here, I load back, boom, come back up, and I can change my depth as needed. So again, the wrong way would be this, loading those knees. The right way would be to push myself back this way and change that load. Same thing happens with the lunge. If I go ahead and do my lunge motion and my knee translates forwards as I do this, that's going to create more load on my knee and compressive force on my kneecap, and aka more grinding. So what I want to do instead is shift my weight back on my hip and load down, and you can see this knee stays in this plane as opposed to, boom, in this plane. So all I have to say, if you want to decrease the grinding but still train, go ahead and make that modification where you load your hips and not your knee by keeping your knee parallel. in space as opposed to coming forwards, and work on your stuff, right? Work on the problems so that upstream of this, the quads, the hips, things we talk about in parts 1 and 2, and of course our online programs to fix this so that you can then increase the depth and increase the load that you do and decrease the grinding. If you have any questions, guys, please go ahead and leave those comments below. Love seeing those. Again, smash that like button. Really helps us reach more people. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And have an awesome, healthy, happy, and wicked day. And move like you mean it. Thanks a lot.